although it'll probably feel like 3 points, particularly for Liverpool fans. Jonjo Shelvey, talk about his take on the game and what's happened so far. Everything okay, Jonjo? Do you want to just hop in here next to us? Perfect.
You all right?
Good to see you. Congratulations, getting the point back. Stunning goal. What do you remember? Have you seen the goal back yet?
Yeah, I mean, Powell just sent me that.
He's seen it 15 times already. Don't worry about that.
It was a good strike, but the main thing is we got the point that I think we deserved. To be fair, we left it all out there today, and that's what the gaffer said.
Did you think it had gone after Kevin De Bruyne comes up with a wonder goal? I mean, you played so well, you'd been organised, you'd limited them to very few chances, and then he scores that magnificent goal. You must be thinking, oh, really, not again?
Yeah, but obviously that's what them type of players possess. Do you know what I mean? So it was gutting, to be fair, when he took the shot and scored it. But then
you actually closed him down, Jonjo.
Yeah, I tried to get there.
Bruce, you had the goal for not getting there.
I tried to get there, but I just couldn't get there. But you have to just keep the faith and keep going. And then obviously I seen their back there, but the way they set up for the defensive free kick, they're so deep. So
I was going to ask you then, is that something what you worked on in the training ground? Because I was sort of given a bit of.
To be fair, we hadn't done any attacking set pieces yesterday. We only done defensive ones, but I see such a big gap, and then Astro he sort of pinged it in at me. Then I just literally, I knew that if I'd make good contact and just tried to make the keeper make a save.
Do you feel you're really starting to turn a corner now? Because home form and defensively here has been much better.
Been very good.
And you're starting to head in the right direction. You've got more points this time of the season than you did last year under Rafa. I think there was a lot of issues around Steve Bruce. Was he the right man for the job when he first came in? Is he starting to turn it around, and are the crowd starting to get on your side now?
That needs to obviously stop now about the stuff that Steve Bruce is not the right man for the job. I mean, you've seen how hard we're working and what we're putting into the games, and he worked too hard during the week as well. So it's tough, but I think we're starting to show a bit more grit, a bit more determination, and I mean, Monday was probably a write-off, but we had to bounce back, and we've done that today.
I think looking at it from me, mate, coming back, obviously me playing here, it feels like a bit more like when I played here now. When I come back to seeing everybody in and around, and
still at school.
Yeah, weren't that long ago, Joe. But is that, has he brought sort of a smile on faces, sort of back on? Because that's what it feels like, and it's a bit more.
He's from this area. Do you know what I mean? He knows what the club means. He knows what the club means to the fans, and he said at half time, just keep going, and these fans will just get with you, and they did. They was outstanding today, and
we said that during the game, didn't we? I mean, at times you had to sit very, very deep. You know that City are going to control it, but Almiron was running sort of 50 yards with the ball, and the crowd were buzzing. And then Sam Maxim was doing the same, and the same sort of thing. The crowd were getting very excited that as long as you put the effort in here, this crowd will back it. And it was, and we said that it was going to be very, very difficult to score because you were so deep at the time. But the crowd were lifted just by those players getting forward and having a go.
Yeah, obviously Miggy and Alan. I mean, it's not good for me because you've got to try and get up with them. But
you've got to sprint with them.
They're so quick, and I mean, you want to see what Miggy does in a game, the stats and stuff like that. But
he's got his first assist today.
Yeah.
We said he looked incredibly emotional. We said actually if he scores, I think he might cry because he was such a release for him.
I think it will come. I mean, I've seen great players, the likes of Rooney's and people like that. They go through these spells. Do you know what I mean? And once it comes, it'll probably be like a London bus where he gets a couple. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. He's just got to keep working away. And yesterday I was walking off the training pitch and he was out there with Steve Aggers, the assistant, and he's just taking shots into an open goal. And he missed probably that.
I was going to say, how many did he miss?
I didn't want to say that.
No, but he works his nuts off, so it will come. Do you know what I mean?
Did you feel that the City back four could be got at, given their performances this season? Do you feel that if you really tested them, you would get something, which ultimately you did?
I mean, I just spoke to Dwighty there, and they play such a high line, and he was just cheating a little bit, where he'd just come in and stand just in our half, and it's one ball, and it's just you're in.
Well, there was one point where I think you cleared it down the right, and he was on the left all alone. You obviously hadn't seen it.
He's pulled me up on that, and I just told him to leave me alone. I just want a bit. But no, listen. There's gaps there. I mean, I was in Ireland a few weeks ago watching Liverpool City, and Liverpool exploited them all over the place. And you have to. I think in today's football, you have to watch teams and see where you can exploit them and stuff like that. So it was just a massive point for us.
We know you've just come out and probably haven't had your phone that long, but you must have had some texts from Liverpool fans.
Yeah, it has to be
because we've said now that's almost the title over for City.
The player liaison officer texted me then saying,
Ray, is he already on you?
Text me saying, get in, and I said, oh, that was for you. And he said, only if we win today. Otherwise, it don't mean nothing.
That's if they do that, that's 11 points. That's a massive gap to make up. And we've just said, City are not. It's not when City lost last year, when they lost here, and then went on a fantastic run. It's not the same City. So Liverpool fans will be absolutely loving you today.
Yeah, to be fair, they when they move the ball slow, it's easy to get across and get in your shape. It's just when they decide to just go like that, and that's when it's tough. But you have to just put the work in and just do it. Do you know what I mean? So.
Final question. I have to ask. I notice your ankle is strapped up. Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's a busy period coming
out.
Just
so we can go dancing tonight. That's all. That's
I'm going Chinese, mate.
He's on a trainer sponsor mention.
That's what racing. Okay.
Nice.
He's
out in Liverpool tonight. He's pride of the city.
He's going to be a hero tonight in Liverpool. Thank you so much for your time. All the best for the very busy period ahead. Perfect. Very honest, very open. Do you like him being a leader on the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, I said to Danny, I was surprised when I seen him with the armband, but when he said, well, who else would you pick? I think it was you said, who would you pick? And then you look around, you think, and you can tell why he is, that, you see him there.
The chosen captain today in the absence of Lascelles.
I think that's a problem in modern day football. There aren't natural leaders. The players that are being produced through the academy system and foreign players coming in, there aren't natural leaders anymore. There aren't people prepared to stand up and take one for the team sometimes and put the team before themselves. It's become very much individuals first, and that's the problem. You look at every team. Look at Arsenal. Look at Manchester City. Where are the leaders? Where are the captains?
He couldn't pick one, could he? No. So it's like, you decide between you.
This is the problem. Whereas when we played, there were 5 or 6 candidates. For captains, players that would quite happily walk into that dressing room and speak on behalf of the manager. If things weren't going right, they'd put it right themselves before the manager even got a chance. You don't see that nowadays.
And I think that's the biggest thing with Man City now.
Yeah.
What I was saying before about Vincent Kompany, he would have gone in there today, and Pep Guardiola probably wouldn't have had to say nothing, because he would have turned the dressing room upside down, because they've just lost 2 points, trying to get closer to Liverpool, or 3 points, and putting the pressure on Liverpool. Whereas Liverpool now sort of go into this game against Brighton with a bit of a relaxed mode, and not relaxed, but thinking, right, we win today. But there's no added pressure, because even if they lose, which we probably all know that it's not going to happen, there's still going to be 8 points clear.
You speak of leaders. Didn't you turn up at West Ham and you made captain straight away?
Yeah.
Straight away?
Yeah, well, that was obviously because I'd worked with Sam before. He'd just come in.
But still, I mean...
but he brought me in to be captain, and there's a real problem with West Ham at the time. There was a bit of a, shall we say, bad apple dressing room, if you like, and there's a few and he knew what I could do, and that's what I done.
I think, and this is not being disrespectful, but I think that the problem is that nowadays people want to make the best player the captain. And I'm not trying to say that you weren't the best player, but that's an issue in itself.
I was the best player at all 3 clubs.
Well, of course you were, no doubt. But do you understand what I mean? It's like sometimes it's like, let's just make the best player captain, because he's the talisman, he's the one going to do all the interviews. That's the poster boy. That's the one we get. And actually, that's not the right decision at times. The captain, it's a certain role. You've got to be a special character to do that.
Who stands out as a captain for you, either for club or country?
There aren't. That's what I'm saying. There aren't. There is
during your time.
Oh, dude, I mean...
Well, you've got loads.
There were plenty.
Steven Gerrard, you've got, and for me, John Terry, Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
You look at all the top clubs when they were going through Man United, you could give it to Paul Scholes because of what he'd done.
Yeah. You go through,
Gary Neville.
Go through England, exactly. So you go Neville, you go Beckham, you go Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell. At Leeds, you had Lucas Radebe.
So Beckham was a good captain as well.
Batty after that. But led in a different way, an example on the pitch. But there were lots of senior players in those dressing rooms, and that's what you needed, people that would have a voice. Even I played at Leeds, Jason Wilcox, who'd won the league obviously with Blackburn, would still come in, even if he was on the bench, and would dig people out and would have a go at people. And you had respect for him, and because, they work hard, and then they've got a voice, and you believe them, you trust them. Teddy Sheringham was fabulous at times, the advice that he would give, because he'd been there, done it, seen it. There aren't people now prepared to stick the head above the parapet.
When I was at Bolton, I got given the captaincy. I took it off JJ halfway through the season, JJ Okocha.
Yeah.
And I had JJ Okocha in the dressing room, Ivan Campo, Gary Speed, Fernando Hierro.
And they gave it to you?
And he gave me the captaincy. So it weren't me going in every week and, as he just said, giving a rollick into the, because they demanded, and what they did is they made me a better player and made me a captain and made me better at what my job was. So for me, we had 4 or 5 where you could give up the armband. I look at that Man City side and I think...
Captain's easy when you're winning. When you're winning week out, and you go up and you're picking up trophies and doing the interviews afterwards, it's easy. It's when things aren't quite going right. You need, and it doesn't have to be the captain. It needs to be a player that's prepared to take responsibility, to say, look, just tuck in here for 5 minutes, do this. We're not going to, Arsenal for instance, we're not going to play out from the back in the next 5 minutes because we've just conceded loads of chances. We're going to go a bit longer for 10 minutes. And actually, I don't care what the manager said. I don't care what our directive is. We are just going to change it up because I'm the on-field manager now because I'm a senior player. And that's what's not happening. And it said, Jonjo said there himself, City today, the ball was being moved around too slowly. Yeah. It was too easy for Newcastle to keep their shape.
We said, although Newcastle didn't really press them, they didn't really bother them, Newcastle, did they? They didn't move it quick enough to sort of be able to get in the lines or get from side to side, which what you'd expect from a Man City side. And then going back again, I know I keep alluding to it, but company would have went today. You come here, you do this, you do that, and sort of made them do it, made them get quicker, made them get zippier. You can see Pep Guardiola getting all animated on the touchline, telling them to keep it going, to move it faster, all that type of stuff. But as he said, you need someone on the pitch to go, this is not good enough, we need to get big, quicker and better.
I think Andy Carroll's going to get jealous of you constantly talking about Vincent Kompany.